says Carl.
What in the world is that? I mean, they've never seen anything like it. Jason and Leslie with Denwerks. My partner in crime driving the Mustang up.
Not a bad way to spend the day.
No.
I like it.
When we first met, I had a 65, or I had Mustangs, but we bought a 66 Mustang, and it was so fun to have. So this brings back a lot of memories.
We drove around our little baby in her car seat, trying to figure out how to do a 90s car seat in a 66 Mustang. Can be done.
Yes, it can. So we've always been fascinated with Mustangs. We've owned a lot of Mustangs, probably over 100 Mustangs, and so if I know anything in the world, it is Mustangs.
That is very true.
But I still don't know everything, so there's always something new to learn. So this car is really nice, 1965 Mustang GT, and it is a factory GT, and you can see a little condensation. It is really cold out here, but it is a factory GT built March 1965, actually March 25th, and it was sold new April 5th, 1965. So if you know anything about Mustangs, the Mustangs were the GT didn't come out right away, and they came out in April. So this car was a San Jose built car. R in the VIN code, second number is San Jose, and San Jose is just north of LA area, and this car was sold brand new April 5th. It's had 7 owners, and I'll go through some of the stuff that makes it a GT and what cars should have and shouldn't have. So it does have the original 289 automatic transmission, and it has the 3.0 rear end. So very original, very stock, but there has been some modifications and upgrades to it, which is really nice, which you can hear right now. It has an electric fan on it, which is nice for a little Mustang. So we'll just walk around the front of this little GT, and I'll just show you some certain stuff. So you can see it's got fog lamps, and you can see that it has the marker lamps are working, and we see headlights, and we'll see bright lights, which is nice. And then go ahead and shut all the lights off and the fogs. Then I'll show you something in the back when we go there. So we'll go ahead, turn the key off real fast. I'm just gonna shut it off just for the electric fan because it was coming on. So we'll just walk around the front to the back. It was originally honey gold, and it's Wimbledon white now. When we show you the door tag, it was a reproduction door tag made that has all the right codes. And this is a factory bench seat car too, which is pretty rare in these cars in general. But it has a new reproduction tag in the door. This is an A code, by the way, the 5th digit in the VIN. But it has a new reproduction door tag that has the Wimbledon white on there. Kevin Marty from Marty Auto Works made it for my friend. But we do have the original tag for it. And by the way, those tags on the doors, you always, on a Mustang, you want to look at the VIN underneath the hood that's stamped, because they didn't use those for title registration actually on the door tag. So we're going to walk around and look at the paint, and it's just a nice car. So the paint is fairly nice on it. I've seen a couple little small flaws that I'll try to point out, but overall it looks really good. It was painted in the late in the late 90s actually, so the paint is 20 something years old, and it is really held up nice and looks really nice. If you look down the side, very smooth and looks good. Just looking at the paint, see if I can see anything. I've seen a couple little flecks in it. I know there's one on the trunk lid there, but overall it looks really good. The tires are 14-inch P205/70 14s, and front and back, and the actually the back has 225s on it, but the wheels are 14x7s, and the date code 2014. One thing about the Mustang GTs too, they had the blacks, they had stripes on the bottom, sometimes white, sometimes black. I've seen red. But in 65 they had a porcelain GT emblem, and this is porcelain. 66s had a plastic one, and that is porcelain. These stickers are not stick-on, those have all been drilled. And well, when we walk around the back, I'll show you the GT exhaust as well. And I'm going to put it on my lift and show you the supports and all that, and I'll say something about those in a minute, but for underneath, for the exhaust and things. Window looks good. You can see it's a car light. That is a reproduction window because it looks very clean, but car light was the Ford company when they had them do all the windows. You can see car light right here on everything. No rust bubbles. Look at the bottom of the door. Looks really good. The rockers look very, very, very good on this car. But styled steel wheels all the way around. And this tire here is a P225/70 14. There's a little wheel spacer on the front, just so you know. There was a little bit of rubbing from the oversized tire. The ideal is to put a 195 on it, but 205 looks a lot nicer, I have to admit. It does have air shocks. There's barely any air in it right now, so if you like kind of a raked look, you can pump it up a little bit. We'll go back here, and I'll have Leslie show me right now. One thing that people don't do on a, you don't have to turn the key on. One thing that when people are building GTs, they don't do, and this is one of the first things I check, go ahead and flip, there's no lights on, go ahead and flip on the fog lamps. This has the correct wiring for a GT. So a lot of times if you're ever around a GT car, you can turn it off. If you're around a GT car, double check that just right off the get-go. You don't even have to say anything to anybody, just click that on real fast. And if these lights don't come on with the fog lamps, you should probably start questioning. GT trumpets, you can see there, and there is supports in the frame rails because the bracket connects to the frame rails, and if you don't have the support inside, it can squish the frame rail. So these have the supports. It has the supports underneath the seat, and it has the relocated brake line bracket on right next to the exhaust hangers as well. Also underneath the hood, I'll show you, it has an AW steering box. There's AW and AX for a GT, and this is AW because it has power steering on it as well. It also has the 3/16 sway bar on the front as well, and it has the right holes for the fog lamps in the front too. So we'll go ahead. I'm just going to show you the paint real fast. You can see there's no rust bubbles or anything around the wheel wells. You can see original spot welds and everything. It does have original floors, original frame rails, original quarter panels on the car as well. Right here is where there's a couple little, see right here, getting a little nitpicky, but there's a couple little things in the paint right there, but overall looks really nice. There's a little chip that was touched up here. Gas cap looks nice. And I just noticed this, and I don't remember, because I'm supposed to know everything, right? If this should have a GT gas cap, but I don't think in 65 they actually had a GT cap like that, like in 60, 66. Now I'm questioning my mind, but it's just a gas cap. Kind of funny, but we'll go ahead and show you the lights. We got tail lights, and we got brakes, and then turn signals. We got left, and we got right as well. And go ahead and start it up. We'll let it run for a little bit. You can see it. I love the GT exhaust, the sound of it. Go ahead and rev it up a little bit. Sounds really good. Do you like that?
You know I do. That's my favorite part of the video. When we driving.
Yeah, she likes to drive. So, hey, you can check us out on our website too. It's denwerks.com. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram. Actually, on Instagram, if you see our stuff right away, right off, you'll see it, whatever we get right off the get-go, we'll post it there. Yeah. Just like Mrs. D's little 1970 F100. So and that's her truck.
The Point. That parking spot is called the Point.
Yes.
And so whenever we get something new, it gets parked on the Point. So if you want to see what we got, that's Instagram's a great place.
Yep. And you can check us out. We've got a podcast that's really fun, and we're going to start that back up here pretty soon. It's not like we've been not on it for a while. It's just we're going to make a new one pretty soon.
Yeah.
So we'll walk around to the other side here. Yeah, go ahead and shut it on. If you look at the seams, they look really good. One little small crack right there in the paint, but the rest looks really, really good. You'll see a couple little, right here, little hairlines right there on the gas cap. Little nick right there. If you look at the wheel well back behind here on the quarter, looks really good. No bubbles around the wheel lip at all. And you can see, gosh, the rocker looks good as well. There was a couple little bubbles in the bottom of the door. I think it was this side, but it might have been the other. And my friend had those fixed. Had a couple other spots touched up on the car, which I couldn't even tell you where, because everything looks so nice. But everything looks really good on this car. You look at the gutters here, very clean. You can see the seam sealer is done perfectly in there. Usually that's all cracked out and doesn't look very good, but they did a nice job. Also has a remote mirror as well. So nice car. I kind of wish we probably should have bought it, but just a nice car, and I'm excited to present it. And so we're gonna go ahead and show you some more stuff. I'm gonna show you the interior. We'll put it on the lift and show it underneath the hood. Hey, here I am again. I just wanted to explain, I had so much stuff rolling in my head when I was talking about this thing and wanting to show you everything, because there's just so many things to show. When I said, I was talking about the receipts, and I couldn't remember where he had exactly done some of the paint work on it, but it shows in there, Paintwork. When you look at the receipts, you'll see that. And if you remember, I was talking about the gutters, how clean those were. Super, super nice. Well, that was one of the things that he had done. He had the gutters cleaned because the sealant was starting to crack, like you see on a lot of vintage cars, actually. So he had these cleaned out and resealed. So we did that on both sides and had the paint in here. So, and it's immaculate. And the reason I didn't really realize, because I couldn't see any spot work at all. And then also, I'd already mentioned this, but 2 little rust spots on each side, just the head of like a pencil eraser, and had those repaired on both sides of the car, and then had to restripe it, repaint it there. And again, I don't see any blend work there. And then also, you'll see in there was the fenders. There was a hypo emblem that was right here, and he had removed it. And you'll see K codes and stuff like that. Sometimes they'll have that, but you know, since this is an A code, he didn't like that. So he was trying to make it correct. So he took off the emblem behind there, but it left 2 holes. So he had those welded up on both sides of the car. That's where you see the fenders, and then had these blended back in, welded up and blended back in. And then also, being a noob that I am, I don't know if I'm a noob, maybe Stanley is, but I got myself confused. I've been around these cars so much, but 65 Mustang GTs do not have a GT gas cap. It was 66, and if they would have probably came up with it, they would have done it. But that's where you'll see just a factory gas cap on this car. So, I probably missed something else, but I just wanted to clarify some of the paint work. and the gas cap on it, and that's it. So hey, thanks for riding around with us in Mustang. I can't believe we're listening to Christmas music already. It's not even Thanksgiving.
I was gonna say I want to be irritated about that because we don't do Christmas until Thanksgiving is over. But I'm having a hard time being irritated because we're out driving this really amazing car. This car, so nice. So nice. So I won't be irritated about the Christmas music.
Yeah, you know, so yeah, maybe someone will get it for Christmas.
True, and by the time this is watched on YouTube, it is going to be after Thanksgiving.
That is true. Fine. That is true. So we're just cruising around here. It's kind of funny to just be riding in a Mustang again. This always brings back so many memories, like we were saying earlier, because we've, you know, when we were first married, we had a little Mustang, and really fun. You can see the gauges and everything are working. You can see the gas is on E. We are car salesmen, by the way.
The gas gauge does work.
Yep.
It's just on E.
We got oil pressure, speedometer, 36,187 on the mileage, the amp, and the temp gauge. You can see the clocks working, and the tach. Go ahead and stomp on it a little bit.
Okay.
You can see the tach is working there. And then go ahead and show the, you can see the horn works as well. The heater works. We should have that on. And then you'll also see this is the cigarette lighter, but it's not working. So I'm going to double check that. But you can hear the defrost. It's switched and the heater's on now. Go ahead
that
and
feels good, actually.
Yeah, that does feel nice. So go ahead and step on the brakes here.
Okay.
Should stop really nice and straight. Nice and straight. You can see there's not a bunch of wheel shake or anything like that. So what's one other thing? Oh, turn your blinkers on real fast. You can see the blinkers working in the dash and the right one, and then turn your bright lights on real fast. You got to turn your headlights on. You can see the little red light comes on right there. So I think that's about it. We'll pull in here. We'll do some drive-by videos for you so you can see it going about. So go ahead. There was a big semi there.
I was rethinking what I was going to do there for the semi.
Oh, I know what we were going to do. We're going to show the wipers. How's that?
That is perfect. And the wipers, are oh, there. Here.
Yep. The wipers work. So now
we'll do some driving.
We're going to flip around here and we'll show you some more stuff.
Don't the semis know that we're trying to make a video?
I don't know. They should have called.
They should get off our road, honestly. Like, this is video time right now, and this semi is creeping slowly up the hill. But
yeah, see, we weren't lying.
We'll make a complaint to someone. Where is it gonna go? That's my question.
I don't know.
Because there is not. All right.
It's a nice looking semi. Okay, we're gonna show you some drive arounds and show you some other stuff. Hey, we're going to take a look at the interior real fast. First, I want to show you how nice the door shuts. Actually, very nice. Let's take a look here. Factory bench seat. The door tag denotes it as well, that it's a bench seat car. And then also it has black interior. And it's got the correct black interior. 66's had kind of a perforated area in the centers. Sometimes you'll see a lot of mix-match stuff in Mustangs. Correct glove box and bezel for a GT. Wood grain wheel, which is actually a really nice wheel. And this one here is actually real wood. Also, you can see it's got the correct dash, 65 dash on a 66. It kind of comes down on the sides. Rally pack is a GT option. Got 6,000 RPM. You can see there the clock's working. You know, you actually could hear it even click. So, really nice seats. Back seat looks good as well. Headliner, really nice condition. You can see underneath, the lights work. The wiring all looks really good. Carpet's nice. Floor mats look nice. And it's actually, I don't know if on the reproductions they do this. I don't think so, but Ford Moco, you can see there, but they're probably made in Canada. Those probably are a reproduction, but at least Ford licensed. Here's your door tag, and I'll show you the one in the trunk here in a minute. This is the reproduction, and you can see M for Wimbledon white, and I think C is for honey gold, but everything else there is right. DSO is the Los Angeles sales ordering. 65C is for Mustang Coupe with bench seat option as well. And the build date is 25Q, which is March 25th, and this car was sold new on April 5th, right when the Mustang G came out at dealers. That didn't mean they started building them in April. They started building them and to be sold in the beginning of April. So if you look at the door panels, again, looks really nice overall. You look at the jambs, I can see the original spot welds in here. Again, it's had 7 owners, and the miles, it's actually got 136,000 miles, and I have a ton of receipts. I'll show you here in a minute. The windows roll up and down nicely. The quarter window does, and the door rolls up. I'll show you the other side in a minute. You can see I'm just one hand in it there. So we'll take you into the trunk real fast. The trunk, I can't show you a lot in the trunk because the mat's been glued down, but when you see underneath the car, you'll understand. It looks really good. But if you look inside here, really nice in the gutters. Original spot welds. Original quarters up underneath there. See up underneath here, there's no seam. I'm sure there was little repairs. You can see maybe there was a ding here. You can see some of the undercoating came off, but not go. Little undercoating off there, but just flake. But looks like there was a little tiny, little coming off up there. Not hit. Back behind the lights, everything looks good. So we do have the jack and spare tire. This just goes over here. You can see the jack and spare tire. But you can see this is pretty cool here. First of all, I'll show you that I got a title. There's a title, and it matches. But here's the original owner's manual, which you don't see a lot of times on Mustangs, a lot of reproduction ones. But you can see there to the first owner, and you can see all the codes are on there as well. Sold new at Ken Rogie Ford on 4/5/1965, and he lived in West Covina, California. So it's got the original owner's manual. Here's all the owners on the car, actually, which is really cool, and a lot of receipts and different stuff in here. Just a lot of receipts for sure. And then there's actually more receipts here, basically from my friend. I mean, a ton of receipts. He bought the car in 2015. You can see all the stuff that he's bought. He's in the car about, after all the work, $33,484. So no expense spared on this car. He did a lot of mechanical and a lot of upgrades to the car. So and that included when he bought it. You know, in 2015, obviously the values are up a lot more than they are, but he paid $16,000 for it back then. But you can't even hardly touch a Mustang 6-cylinder car for that these days. Original owner's manual, and it's kind of cool because this owner, brochures did not come with the GT information in them. So this tells you everything that a GT would have on the car. So I'll show you a picture of that as well on the auction. Different manuals and different things as well. Even a little Wimbledon white Mustang. And then here's that door tag I was telling you about. That's the original one. And C is for honey gold. So you could put this back on the car if you wanted to. But this does come with the car for sure. And this is just a little breakdown there that you'll see. 65C standard bench, Wimbledon white. Of course, that's with the decoded with the M. Black bench seat. March 25th, 1965, Los Angeles. The rear end, San Jose built car. So an A code there. So a lot of cool stuff about the car in general. So hopefully that helps you a little bit just about information. Now I can't remember where I put the keys, so I'm not going to shut that. So let's take a look at this side real fast. Sorry, a little long-winded, but I like Mustangs, and I want you to know exactly what you're getting. You can see all the gaskets and everything look good. You can see the jams look very good on the car in general. No major issues. Seat obviously looks good over here. Glove box, you can see even the little light is hooked up in there. And then you can also see it's got a, we'll leave that in there so you can take your wheels off. There's two little holes right here. They've been with little plugs in it. I don't know what was there. And also you can see the disc brake pedal over there. So anyways, hopefully that gives you a good look of the interior in general. Last thing I'll show you is the windows. It does have a remote mirror on the other side. These cars didn't come with a remote on this side, but this is a dummy mirror. That's what they call it, so it looks and matches the other one. And we'll go back up. So, hey, it's a nice looking car. We'll show you some more stuff. There's Betsy, Stanley's friend. We actually got Betsy and Stanley on the same day. I don't know where she went. Stanley's in the bushes over here, but we're gonna go ahead and pop this up. So I'll do it with one hand. So looks really good underneath the hood, and I like this a lot actually. First thing we want to look at, 1965 R San Jose 07. That's a coupe. A for A code, 225 horsepower. They call it the Challenger Special. 201739 is the consecutive unit number. The motor is original. Heads are original. It's got tri-Y headers on it, stainless steel tri-Y headers, long tube in the back. It's got a Whelen Stealth intake, and it's got a Holley 600 carburetor. So it's there's been some upgrades to it underneath here. It does have factory disc brakes up front, which it should have for a GT, drums in the back, and then it's got a wheelwood portioning valve and master cylinder as well. But you will get it's the big master cylinder, just a single reservoir. You will get that with the car as well. And then we do have an original, hey, get off there, sorry guys. She likes the car, so she does it. We do have a factory radiator, but it's not original to the car, it's a reproduction. But you can see it's got an aluminum radiator in it that's nice. Cobra valve covers, Cobra oval air cleaner, Monte Carlo bar, and then it also has the shock tower braces. Sometimes you'll just see the ones that connected, but this one goes all the way around, which is really nice to see. One of the things that, see, it's got power steering. One of the things that when you're looking at a factory GT, you want to look at the steering box down here, and I took a picture for you. If you look down there, there's a little tag. I don't think you can see it here, but it says AW on it. But look on the auction, you'll see the photo of it. And I knocked that off. So it's been bored 60 over. It's got a Howard's cam in it, and it's just mild, you know, just for a nice driver. You can see it's got billet pulleys and everything, which I actually really like. That looks good in there, and the electric fan. If you look up underneath here, the shock towers, all the spot welds look good. Now, one of the reasons I'm pointing that out, these are the original aprons on the car. All the spot welds, you can see there hasn't been any damage up here or any crinkle marks. Original spot welds here. So very, very clean underneath this car. And wait till you see underneath. It has original floors and everything in it, so it's really super clean. Right here is the for the fog lamps, factory holes on both sides. You can see on both sides right here and right here. So this car's great, you know. And then you can see the sway bar down there. It's bigger than a factory one as well. So go ahead and start it up. We'll hear it run. It's got Petronics in it as well, but it runs really good. Go ahead and rev it up a little bit. Very, very smooth. So we're gonna go ahead and show you some interior stuff. So yeah. What do you
Go drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to put you on the spot, like you were supposed to say something. Yeah. I don't know.
There we go.
Check out our what is it?
Maybe that's what I was supposed to say. Well, you talk about podcast,
yeah,
Instagram, but if you subscribe to listing alerts on your trailer,
oh yeah,
very, very helpful, because then you'll know when we have stuff for sale. So you'll just get an email. So you might want to do that as well.
Yeah. So just click on our name on the auction, subscribe to the listing alert. So thank you, Mrs. D.
Yeah. Well,
we'll show you some more stuff. Can I get in? Had to ask first.
Go up anytime, anywhere.
Alright. I'm driving off and playing that trick. Alright, I almost grabbed the handle.
And then take off?
Yeah.
No, I'd never do it. Especially after how long we've been together.
Yeah.
We're gonna...
Quite a while. 29 years.
20? That's weird, because that just changed over.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright. I'll show you some more stuff.
Very cool.
Hey, we're going to take a look at the Mustang underneath. I took the wheels and tires off so we can get a different look at it. So we can see inside the wheel wells and everything, and look at some of the GT equipment on it in general. So anyways, we'll start here from the front to the back. You can see it's got disc brakes on it, and it's got KYB gas adjust shocks. If you look up in here, we just want to show you just all the aprons and stuff look good. Frame rails look really nice. Here you can see on the right here you can see all the original spot welds going across there on the frame rail. Up underneath here behind the headlights, again, very clean. A little bit of surface rust right there on the mount, but not a big deal. Radiator support looks good. Actually, all this looks really nice underneath here. Again, you can see all the original welds and spot welds and everything. No accident damage up here around the front. Actually looks really good. Brake lines are in good shape. Obviously the brakes have been redone. Now one of the GT equipment things is upgraded sway bar, and that's 0.819 on a mic, which converts to 13/16. So GT's had a bigger sway bar on it, so that's what this is. So that was a math wizard and calculated 0.819 with all my conversions and intelligence of myself, but actually I just got on Google and did it. But anyways, so it does have the correct sway bar on it. This does have power steering, which you can see, and I mentioned earlier, and I showed a video of it, the steering box is AW. Just telling you about that again. AW is steering boxes for a GT is with power steering. AX is with manual steering. So this has got power steering. Take a look at this brake here. You can see up in here, again, there's just a little bit of undercoating flaking right there, but not rusty or anything. You can see the bottom of the footwell here. Up here underneath the cowl, everything looks really good behind the headlights. I don't know what those two holes right there. I don't know if something was mounted on the inside, but there's two little holes right there. You can see the shocks. Upper and lower A-arms are replaced as well, you can see. There is 2 wheel spacers that go on it. You can see right here. These will go on. Since it's running 205s on it, there's a little bit of rub from the upper A-arm, so it's just got a tiny little wheel spacer on it. When you go to a 205, sometimes it looks a lot better with the 205, but on a 65 Mustang, unless you got a 15-inch wheel, these are 14s. When you go to a 205, sometimes you got to put a little spacer on it. So not a biggie, just showing you that. Take a look at the floors. Really nice on this car. They're not replaced. These haven't been restored. You can see factory primer here, that red primer, the red oxide. Those are originally, you can see a couple little dents like you normally see on a lot of Mustangs. But floors, very nice on this car. Look at the rockers. Again, really good. The drains is what saved this car because they're not clogged or anything like that. Very nice rockers overall. Dual exhaust, tri-Y headers, stainless headers. Transmission's clean. It's got dual exhaust with an H pipe. I have seen a couple little, the motor's fairly new, actually just last year, but I did see a couple little drips here, and I think it was from the valve covers, just some residue. And I did see there was a little bit of dampness here on the power valve, on the power steering. If you look here, you can see this floor, again, really nice. Frame rail, almost perfect on this side. Very clean floors. And again, this rocker over here. Sorry I'm taking a little extra time, but I just wanted to show you. It's actually a really nice car. The original rear end, 3.0, you can see right there. You can see the 3 right in front of it spaced out, but it's 3.00. So that is the original rear end in the car, which it came with factory. You can see here the rear frame rails are in really nice condition as well. Now this is a big thing on factory GTs. Factory dual exhaust car had it too, but factory GTs, you'll see for the dual exhaust, and hopefully you can see that up there. There's up inside that hole, hopefully I can get my light, there's a reinforcement there, and if you stick your finger up in there, you can feel a plate on the inside. So when they put the exhaust bracket on right here, you can see that exhaust bracket. when they tightened it, it wouldn't squeeze in on the frame rail, so they put a plate on the inside, and hopefully you can see that on a non-GT car or dual exhaust car, that would be all open right there. You can see those 2 bolts going through there. Take a look at this frame rail. Same thing over here. You can see that plate inside there. If I stick my finger up there, I can feel it. Again, frame rails on this side, really good. Inside the apron or the wheel wells, very, very clean. Back here under the quarter looks good. Original trunk drop-offs. You know, this car isn't rusty. And I don't see any replacement stuff underneath here. So it looks really, really, really good. And the other thing on GTs with dual exhaust, they put these mounts here, but on the inside, if you take the seat out, there's a reinforcement plate on both sides. And but that's how factory GT exhaust mounts up. And then also the brake here, these big washers are for, there's different seat belts in it, so reinforced seat belts. But this mount here for the brakes, the brake line, that's specific to 65 GT as well. So underneath, hopefully that gives you a really good idea. We've got Dynamax mufflers. You can see the brakes, again, have all been redone. Very, very clean. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of underneath the car. It's got air shocks, by the way, too. But just a super clean car, very original underneath there. These little, I was going to mention too, and you can get these really easy. There's a little rubber piece. You can buy them for like $10. If I had a set, I'd put them on it. I might have a set, but they're just a little rubber piece that goes in here and lets water drain out. Most Mustangs don't even have it, but I might have a couple of those laying around. But anyways, hopefully that gives you a good idea. This is going to be a really good auction, really good car, and it's a factory GT. So, and very, very early, like I mentioned before, you know, being built March 25th, and these came out on dealers' showrooms in the beginning in April, and this car was sold on April 5th. So probably one of the first GTs out, really. So anyways, thanks for looking.